If you had to guess, which gender initiates breakups most often, men or women?
Men.
Okay. Studies have shown 70% of the time it is women who initiate divorces. Does that surprise you?
No, because men are very annoying at times.
I have some mixed feelings about releasing this video because the advice that I'm going to give you is a bit manipulative and it involves dishonesty. Now, you guys know me. I am big on ethics and I'm big on telling the truth. If you want to break up with somebody, then you should take responsibility for that decision. Step up and be honest with her. Lies are absolutely corrosive to your self-esteem. Every single time you tell a mistruth, it registers deep in your subconscious. The only reason that you need to lie is because you can't get through life with the truth. You need to lie in order to be able to survive, and that makes you feel like a defective organism. If you were a truly competent man, you'd be able to be truthful all of the time and still succeed. Now, that is mostly true. It is important to be honest, but it is not a 100% prescription. There are instances where it is necessary to be dishonest. The most obvious one is this. Imagine you're being tortured and the torturer demands to know where your friends and family are. Well, obviously, you're not going to tell them. You're not going to be like, oh, well, I'm the kind of person who always tells the truth. No, of course not, because the moment that you give up their location, he's going to go find them and kill them or torture them or something. If you tell the truth in that instance, you're just enabling them to do more harm. So honesty is not an absolute. There are some circumstances where the moral thing to do is to lie. Now, imagine you're in an abusive relationship with a really toxic, nasty woman, a really low quality woman. And if you're honest with her, it's only going to antagonize the situation. If she really has a dark, twisted psychology, you can play out the scenario in your head of what's going to happen if you break up with her. She's going to be embarrassed, she's going to be humiliated, and she's going to seek revenge on you. Suddenly, she's telling all of your mutual friends that you were mean to her, that you hit her, that you were sexually inappropriate with her. You've gotten yourself into a huge mess by getting involved with this low-quality woman. And we need to talk about that later, is how that happened. But right now, the focus is how can we get you out of this relationship with as minimal damage as possible. Now remember, you didn't fire the first shot. She was abusive to you. If you're honest with her, you're really just giving her more ammunition to continue abusing you. So what's the plan? How do you get out of this nightmare relationship? Well, what you need to do is convince her, without her knowing that you're doing this, to break up with you. Here's how you do it. You need to start exhibiting behaviors that women hate. I don't mean being really domineering and controlling. No, I actually mean do the exact opposite. Start acting really feminine, really submissive, really emotionally needy and clingy. Start spending all of your time with her. Start agreeing with everything that she says. Start crying in front of her. Express every single one of your insecurities. Be really, really vulnerable and emotional with her all the time. Now, some women might delude themselves into thinking that this is what they actually want. They want a man who's in touch with their feminine side and who's really vulnerable and emotional. They think that they want a man who's going to put their needs first, but they're absolutely kidding themselves. They might believe that that's what they're meant to enjoy, that they're meant to find that attractive. That's how they can prove that they're all PC and progressive and woke or whatever. But deep down, they hate it. Women are evolutionarily designed to respond to a man's masculinity, to his strength, to his independence. She doesn't need a feminine man. She's already got plenty of femininity. She's a woman. She wants a man who's masculine. So if you take that masculinity away, you stop giving her that, it's fascinating to see what happens. When you start acting super submissive, feminine, and needy, she will become disgusted by you. She will get angry with you. She will be punitive. She will criticize you constantly. And what she's trying to do is provoke you into an angry response. She wants to see some sign of life, of masculinity inside you. She wants to see you stand up for yourself so that she can be reassured that you're still a man, still a strong guy who's capable of taking care of business. Don't give her that. Don't stand up for yourself. Just keep crying and begging for her forgiveness. Keep apologizing, even if what she's saying is completely ridiculous. Just say, you're right, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. If you get to this point, she will start to hate being around you. Sometimes that's enough. She's going to break up with you right then and there, but occasionally she's going to need a little bit more of a push. You need to actually implant the idea of her breaking up with you inside her head. Ask questions like, are you going to break up with me? Say things like, I feel like this relationship is slipping away from me. What you want her to do is to start to imagine what life is going to be like after you. Once you've successfully started to frame the relationship as though it could end at any moment, then anytime you try this super feminine, clingy, emotionally vulnerable stuff in front of her, and she's feeling angry and disgusted by you, she's gonna start having those thoughts, my God, I think I need to break up with this guy. Why haven't I broken up with him yet? So that's how you do it. That's how you get out of one of these toxic relationships. You start acting really clingy and she hates it and she breaks up with you. But remember, this strategy can only work on a really toxic, nasty woman, a really low quality girl. It's only going to work if she really doesn't care about you or any of your needs. You are emotional, you are vulnerable, but she doesn't care. She's only interested in what you are able to provide for her. And once you take that away, she's thinking, well, there's no point left to be in this relationship. Do not try this tactic with a sweet, nice girl because, I mean, fundamentally, it's very dishonest, but it could also backfire on you. If she cares about you and she actually has compassion, if you're being really vulnerable and emotional, it might tempt her to stay in the relationship longer out of sympathy for you. Like I said, this is only to be used in extremely dire circumstances to get out of an abusive relationship with a toxic, low-quality woman. If you're with a fundamentally nice girl, but it's just not clicking between the two of you, then do the right thing. Be honest with her, take responsibility for that decision, and tell her how you feel.